Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you are new. If you're new to my channel, my name is Elena. I am the homeschooling mom to 3 kiddos. My youngest is on the autism spectrum and in kinder/first. My daughter is entering the 3rd grade, or has just started the 3rd grade this year. And then my oldest is 9th grade, so we have just started our high school adventure. And so I'll be showing you how I'm going to take this mess to this. So as you can see, what I have out is just a lot of my kids' curriculum from all levels. This is my youngest son. With him, it's a little bit trickier if you were trying to pre-plan out your schedule, because some days I can only get him to do so much work, and other days he wants to just zoom on through. So we kind of temper it out that way and see what we can get done. So I'll show you how I'm going to tackle that. This is the Sunlight curriculum. This is my daughter's language arts. I'm not too concerned with her math. I'll show you how I'm going to tackle that. I'm going to tackle that very similar to how I'm going to do my youngest son's. But for my daughter, this has more of what we do for the day in language arts. And so I'm going to keep that. The thing is that I have her in Sunlight, and then I also have my oldest in Book Shark. And what I find that I'm doing is going in both of these folders at the same time. So I'm going to see if I can find a way to combine that. Speaking of my older son, I want us to be a little bit more aware of where we're at, making sure we're on schedule, because he is high school. So I'm going to find a way to figure out how many lessons we have in here and keep track of that. And in here I just have his biology, and it has his schedule in here. So I'm going to take a look at that too. All of that. This is the planner that I purchased for this year. It does say 2019-2020 because I had purchased an older one off of eBay just to see if this is what I wanted to go with this year. And we had already spent quite a bit of money on curriculum and my son's planner. Which is also from the Well Planned Gal line. So what I went ahead and did is I redated it. I think I just redated. I did all of the months, so I just put stickers on, or I think I might have just even put white out on some and rewrote the dates. So what I was doing, we went ahead and started school in August, and I was just kind of, what do you call it? I was kind of just back planning, or just recording what we had done so I could keep track of it. But like I said, for some things I want to plan ahead, and then some things I understand that life is just life and it doesn't always go as planned. So I do definitely want to leave us some wiggle room. So what I'm going to do, because I am working with both the Sunlight and Book Shark language arts, is I'm going to take apart this planner. This planner has, as you can see, 3 rings in it, and so I think what I'm going to do is use a 3-ring binder for my homeschool planner this year. Let's see how it works. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take off the coil from this so that I can put it in the binder and I can kind of move around pages. I also think that I'm really going to love this option, because last year I had a happy planner. To take off the rings too, all I did was bend this open, and I'm just going to pull it through. You want to make it like a little bit straight there, and then just kind of see if it will pull through the pages. Of course, because I'm on camera, it's not. It's going to look way harder than it needs to. So last year I used a happy planner, teacher's planner. I will show that to you. It is 8.5 by 11, and I put on extender disc, which just means larger disc. And I really liked this because I was able to put in extra pages. I have the punch that goes with this, so I was able to add in extra pages that I needed or wanted to have in here, and then I could like pull it out and put things in. So I really liked having the ease of putting things in and out as I needed, in addition to just the regular planner. But with this one, I could put it back on Happy Planner disc, but I don't want to cut this off and re-hole punch. It's just going to be easier to put it in a binder since I have the 3 holes already punched in here for that. So I'm going to uncoil this, and then we'll come back and do the... Okay, so I had pulled like the first half, and then I just took some scissors and cut it, and I was able to just kind of unravel and roll out the rest of it. So now it is completely loose leaf. So I can pull out or take in any pages that I want to do. I think what I will do is go ahead for now and just put this up here. Later I may want to print a cute, like some kind of with our name or something like that. But for now I'm just going to put this like this so the kids know that this is Mommy's Homeschool Planner. This folder was my youngest son, so you can see it's got some crayons and marks all over it, but that's okay. We're going to reuse it because it's still good. I don't think that I need this page in here, or maybe I want to do it to keep these. This is why I picked this planner. I really liked that it had these encouraging articles and things in it. It has an example of how you can use it if you have one child. This is a sample with 2 children, 3 children, and 4 children. And then I believe they also have a bigger version now for larger families. In the corner here they have to do this week, and then they have a portion where you can put your dinner menu, self-care, and then they even have Saturday and Sunday included in here too. So we don't use all of it, but we're going to use some of it. This is family memories, a keepsake, so you can put some stuff in there. This is a year at a glance. What I think I will do is I have a calendar that I put out that had the dates of the school that we wanted to be doing school. Since the back of that page has a year at a glance, I had a sort of year at a glance for our calendar year. I had just printed out a blank template from calendarlabs.com, and then I marked at the beginning of the school year which days I wanted us to have off and which days were holidays and things like that. And then in the corners here I've just marked how many school days we have for that year. I'm just going to glue that onto here and then just hole punch it so that it can kind of be in my planner where I need it. I don't have to glue it on. I could have just hole punched it and stuck it in there, but I'm gonna go ahead and take that extra step. Where we are, we don't have to have a set number of days. It's just something that I kind of want to keep track of because this is the first year in a few years that we are completely on our own homeschooling, meaning that we're not with a larger PSP or any kind of group, a charter, or anything like that. We're just private homeschooling, and so I want to get that. I want to keep track of attendance loosely, just in case if ever anybody ever needed to ask or anything like that. So the holes don't line up exactly, but it's close enough for me. This page is like daily chores, and you can cut them out. They're perforated so that you can give them to your kiddos. You can even laminate them and use them over and over. But I'm going to take this out and put it more towards the back because I don't need it at the front there. This is a teacher schedule. I'm going to leave that in there. My kiddos are in here with me. Class plan, student schedule, 1, 2, 3. You can get room for 4 student schedules. I'm just going to put the 3 in because then this one, the 4th one, is for July, and I don't need to have that in there because we didn't start schooling until August. This is monthly chores for your kids. So this is all for the month of July. We can take that out and then go ahead and start for August. So I'm going to keep my August in there. I'm only going to keep, actually, I think I can fit everything in the binder.
Look at the taco.
So in the back of it, it also has room. These are thicker sheets, and they're little report cards. You get, I believe, 4 sheets. Yep. And then you can make little report cards for your kiddos if you wanted to also. I think that I will go ahead and leave that in the back just in case I ever wanted to come back to it and do it. Okay, so I still have plenty of room here. Okay, so I have these Avery 2-pocket plastic dividers, and I'm going to use, I actually had 2. I think I used them for something else because this one's already open, but I'm going to use these for my monthly dividers, and then that way too, if I have any special projects for that month that I don't want to hole punch, I can just kind of put them in there. So I'm thinking this might work. Let's put these in. Okay, so it does stick out just like a teeny tiny bit on the side, but I don't really mind at all. So now I have my months in here, and I can go ahead and come back in and use the little labels they have with it and print them off and stick it in there. But I'm not going to do that right now. Maybe I'll do it another day. Maybe I won't. So my idea with doing this was that having the language arts in binders like this, what I was doing was going through week by week with the kids and then kind of checking off if we did just checking off what we were doing as we were going, and then you kind of just needed it. But I was saying, I was going through a bunch of binders. So what I'm going to do is just put in a couple weeks at a time into my planner and then rotate them in and out. That might be a lot for some, but it isn't for me, and it actually simplifies things a little bit for me rather than going through all the different binders. So we are already at the time of filming on week 3. So I'm going to take week 3 out. And another thing too is that this one is super tiny, so when I was taking stuff out, it was really hard for me to get it back in anyways. So I think this will be helpful. So let's take some out. Let's take a couple weeks out. Let's take we're going to take out weeks 3 to 5, and that'll kind of bring us to the end of the month here. We are slightly off the schedule that they have here because I don't believe that this schedule allots for holidays. This is the 5-day schedule. You can also get a 4-day one, and we have kind of been tweaking it to try to use it for 4 days instead of 5, but because we ended up taking Labor Day off of school, it kind of shifted the week over a little bit, but it's okay. That's the joy of homeschooling, is that we can kind of shift as we need to. So let's put these into the appropriate week. And I'm going to do the same for my son's book shark. Okay, so the other thing that I'll need is like a top tab, so I know that this is. Okay, so for my son, though, who does all about reading, and like I said, we don't, some lessons take longer. We don't do just one lesson per day. Sometimes the lessons take longer, sometimes they take shorter. And so for him, because we did start using this with his sister, and so the tracker in here, we don't have anymore. So for him, I actually just made a different tracker with paper and some stickers, and every time we complete a lesson, he gets to put a sticker on the little board. So because I know there are 53 lessons in here, that's how I'm going to kind of keep track of how our progress is going on this. In that happy planner, in the back of it, they have these really great checklists. So all I did was take one out and hole punch it. It is not perfect. Some, like this one, is right lined up with this, but I'm going to put it behind just the very first tab, which was August for me. I'm going to put it here, and that is how I'm going to track his reading. So here I will put all about reading. Sorry, my pencil is really squeaky. There are 52 lessons, so I would just number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 53, and then as we do a lesson, I will cross it off. This is going to be the same route that I think I end up taking with my son's biology, because for my son's biology, I'm going to assign him per week how much he needs to get done, but it's up to him when in that week he wants to do it. I'm trying to give him a little bit more responsibility with his schedule. So for example, he has week 7, there are 4 things for him to do, while week 8 there are only 3 things for him to do. What I think I might do is sit down and write down, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, I will do 7 A, B, C, D, and then 8 A, B, C, so that I know that's what we're working with and that's what we have to get done. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you this. So I went ahead and I put in, I can take it out. That's the joy of this 3-ring binder. I think I'm going to let this. So I went ahead and I took the alphabet, my goodness, all about reading, and I just numbered them, and then we will mark off the ones that we have already completed. And then I did the same for my son's biology. I went through, and he has, for lesson 1, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 different things that he's got to do for that first lesson. So I put that in, and then I went ahead and continued that for the whole one until we finish it. Now for his life pack, that is his history and geography. We've decided to go ahead with and try this out. This is from Alpha Omega, but they have, this is the teacher's one, the teacher's guide, and then they actually get 10 little workbooks, smaller ones. So the way that they advise doing it is by going through your school year and giving the student about 18 days to finish off one entire pack. That's what you should aim for. And then what you would do is go ahead and divide the number of pages in a book by those 18 days so that you can get a rough idea of how many pages per day they should be doing. Now it is just an estimate or a guesstimate or a goal, just kind of something to keep you more or less on track. So what I did was go ahead and go through the calendar and mark down every 18 days and then when that would fall on, and so these would be our life pack completion dates. And so then I also put those dates in the monthly calendar in here. So for the month of September, I went ahead and marked on the 20th, the first life pack should be completed. So I know more or less we should be in here getting that first one done. Otherwise, if we go halfway into October, we're really setting ourselves up to push this into summer. And I know that he wants to try to avoid that as much as he can. As far as getting the bulk of it set up, I think that that is it. I am going to try this out and use it for a little while and see how we like it, but so far I think it's going to be okay. Definitely better than going through all of the different dividers and binders that I had. So I know that, and after this divider, this is our checkoff sheet, and I know we've already done a couple of these lessons, so I can go ahead and check some off and kind of keep track of where we are. So we've gone up to lesson 5 already with my little one. For biology with my son, I know that he has gone through up into 3C, so we've completed all of those lessons. And then for his life pack, we'll just kind of keep track on that. I went ahead and did the division, and I put a sticky in his note so he knows how many pages he has left to do to kind of keep us more or less on track with that. As far as the monthly, I don't really have anything down for the month of September. I do know that we are having one day off. We do take a day off around our birthdays. That is just something that I let the kiddos and I do. And then for the week we are in, I'm just going to go ahead and mark down the things that we've already done. So kind of reverse planning or back planning, if you will, for what we've already done. We went ahead and took, well actually my son and I had our Monday morning meeting on this day, so we can mark that down. We are already halfway through this week, so I'm just going to kind of reverse plan this week and write down what we've done so far. And then I can go in and see for next week kind of what I want our goals to be for that week. And I think that's kind of how I'm just going to keep it. These are going to be our goals. This is what we're going to be aiming for. But if it turns into be more of a reverse planning, that's totally fine too. Now, because I have added in these language arts worksheets in here, my weekly view kind of gets cut off. But I like having these in here. I don't want to put them in a separate divider and be flipping back and forth like that. I think honestly it's going to work just fine this way. So I'm going to try it out that way. But that is it. That is what's going to be my kind of go-to planner, and see how this works. And we can go ahead and ebb and change just like our Homeschool Moms Planner does that too throughout the year.